What is up, beautiful people, and welcome back to Courtside with Ash, y'all. I had to make this video this morning because last night I was so tired by the time that game ended. It was a late game on the East Coast, but they were on the West Coast, so that game started at like 10 p.m. and didn't end till like 12 a.m. on the East Coast, and so yeah, I just wanted to make a quick little video about the game, just kind of giving some insight into some of the things that I saw and just how I felt about the game overall. But first and foremost, I just want to send prayers and healing energy to Alicia Gray. I hope that she's good. I hope she's okay. She's a big, vital part to our team, but also more importantly, like for her own sake and her own health, I hope she is okay. So I just had to start off by saying that. Drop below if you've heard any updates about Alicia Gray's injury, but I do hope she's good. Um, Also, since we're talking about Alicia Gray and her injury, I just kind of want to start off by just saying, hats off to the Valkyries. Hats off to them for the way they played last night. They just outplayed us, man. They just simply outplayed us. Defensively, they were long, they were lanky, they were hustling, they were blocking. I mean, it was a whole block party. They was blocking everything in the paint. Every time we went down to the paint, they was blocking, or if they did foul us, they made us feel it. You know, they were setting hard screens. Alicia Gray was continuously running into them, and you could just tell it was really taking a toll on her. Every time I turned around, she was on the ground, and just in that last screen, I believe it was a screen that she got hurt on. Either way, she ran into looked like the hip area, and that last time it kind of put her down for a minute. But two, we have to communicate better on defense. When they're setting screens, we have to call the screens. I used to get upset when people didn't call the screens for me. Like, if I'm constantly running into somebody, you're like, hey, it's coming on your right, it's coming on your left, and then you can be, oh, okay, I see it. But it's like, man, if you're not calling the screens and I'm running dead into people, like, that's the type of stuff I would be mad about. So, whoever responsibility that I didn't really see who it was that was around her, they got to call her screens for her. They have to communicate on the defensive end to be able to say, like, hey, your screen is coming on your right or your left, so Alicia will know to go through it or go behind it or whatever she chooses to do. But like, man, when people set hard screens and you're running full force at them, that hurts. I know that hurts. And that's the type of stuff that make me mad. Like, come on now, call my screens for me. But nonetheless, I'm wishing her healing energy, and yeah, like I said, we got to do a better job of communicating on defense. Also, the story of this game for me was missed free throws. That was nasty. Like, I think we ended up being like 50% from the free throw line. We missed at least 10 free throws for sure. Like, I know for sure we missed at least 10 free throws. And that can't happen. That can't happen when you're trying to win a game and you're going against these WNBA teams who are also trying to win the game. Like, it comes down to things like free throws and it comes down to things like turnovers. But the real thing was the free throws, their defense. Hats off to Golden State. Like I said, they were swarming us on defense. So hats off to them. And then also, um, yeah, it was the defense, it was our free throws and three-pointers, right? They made so many they made way more three-pointers. Like, we were terrible from the three-point line compared to them. They made way more than we did. And when I look back at the numbers, a lot of things were kind of even. Our field goal percentage was not as high as theirs. They were shooting very, very close to 50% for the whole game, maybe over 50% from the field. We were missing our free throws and they just were sinking three-pointers. Like, I mean, hats off. I mean, they just had a good shooting night. And when stuff like this happens, like, you can't even really be mad at it. You know what I mean? Like I said, you can always look for things that we can improve, which I said the free throws. It also looks like, to me, it looked like our legs weren't there. Our starters were playing a lot of minutes versus Indiana in those back-to-back games. We gave a lot of energy, a lot of effort, scoring over 100 points back to back. I mean, we just look tired. You know what I mean? They look like they had energy and we look tired. And one of the reasons why I felt like we really looked tired that really stood out was when our bench came in the fourth quarter. Mind you, y'all, our bench started the fourth quarter. And I believe they were up by like 20 something points. I don't know. They were up by a lot. They were blowing us out. And when our bench came in, y'all, they did not score from 10 minutes to like 4 minutes, like halfway. It was over halfway through the fourth quarter before the Valkyrie scored. Our bench was playing defense on them because they had fresh legs. And I felt like Carl Schmesko should have just left our bench in. You know what I mean? That was one of the big things that I felt like he kind of made a mistake with, because if we were going to lose this game, like, leave the people in who is actually chipping away at the lead. If you see something's working, don't disrupt that flow. So I feel like he should have left our bench in for the entire fourth quarter, because as soon as Jordan Canada checked back in, and there's no shade to Jordan Canada at all, but I remember like she checked back in, I think somebody else checked back in, like they hit a three, and their momentum started swinging back their way. So I think sometimes when something's working, you just got to stick with it. I would have loved to see what would have happened with our bench staying in the game and finishing the game, just to see what they could have did, because they were chipping away at the lead, and they had like an 11-0 run or something like that in the fourth quarter. Madina Okot was doing her thing, shout out to her. She ended up with like another 16-point game. And so, she's going to keep getting better game by game. But I was actually happy that our bench was able to get some really valuable minutes in that fourth quarter. And they look good. Our bench looked good, y'all. They really look good. So Carl has to feel good about them and continuing to trust them. Not just when it's a blowout, but trusting them throughout the game and being able to like lean on them at certain points, because those minutes add up. All those minutes that Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray and Jordan and all them, like, and Angel and Nas, like all those minutes, they're adding up. And at some point they start to feel it. So we got to be able to give them some rest at some point. We have a really tough stretch coming up. We got to play the Valkyries again. We got to play Seattle. You know, and they coming along. Their record is probably worse than they actually are, because they got Malanga back and they got our fam playing now. So another tough, lanky defensive team. And then we got to go play Washington, who is playing very well right now. So we got some tough assignments, and so we're gonna need our bench. We're gonna need all hands on deck. Um, this is one of those losses. It's nothing to get too high or too low about. It's just they were just better than us. They played better. They hustled more than we did, and I'm not making too much about this loss. It's nothing to make much about. It is what it is. We just got to be ready for the next one. Now I do expect us to be ready for the next game, and I'm expecting us to be ready, for this stretch, and to come out and play. And I'm expecting Carl to lean on our bench a little bit too, and get them some minutes, because they deserve it. And in order for us to win, we're gonna need all hands on deck, not just the starters, but the bench too. So um yeah, on to the next one. On to the next one. And I think we'll be fine. I think we have a chance to win the rest these three games. We just got to come out and play, because we can't underestimate any of these opponents, no matter what their record is, no matter what. You can't ever underestimate anybody, and so we got to be ready, and we got to continue to just play our game. And I will say this before I go, like, I did like the game plan. We were going down low. We were attacking the basket. They just kept blocking our shot. So I gotta respect that. You know what I'm saying? We did take some ill-advised shots here and there, but overall, y'all, we just gotta live with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's just like, dang, you know what I mean? But like, we had the right mindset to go down low. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that has been an emphasis that our team and Carl and the adjustments that we've made, like, we are making an emphasis to go down low. We're making an emphasis to go to Angel Reese, Madina Okot, Ryan Hill going downhill, and I'm sorry, Ryan Howard going downhill, Alicia Gray. I'm seeing us do it. Jordan Canada, we're trying. We just missing layups and getting blocked, and shout out to them again, like I said, for making it tough on us. I mean, they were lanky and they were getting in the passing lanes, and you know, um, they just played good defense. I gotta give props where it's due. And Gabby Williams had herself a great game. Veronica Burton, Kayla Thornton. They got some good players over there. Letitia Amiri, I can't forget her. We actually drafted Letitia Amiri, and I'm just proud to see how she's developed and she's found like a good home in Golden State, and she played very well too. Um, Loki wish we could have her back. I love her. I actually think she's a really good player, and she comes from that Dawn Staley ilk, but she's doing so good over there. So shout out to her and shout out to that whole team. That was a good win for them. But yeah, we gotta bounce back and get our get it back in blood. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get it back the next time we play them. And so for us, the takeaways, we gotta go to the gym, y'all, and make these free throws. I'm never gonna be okay with us missing that many free throws. That's never gonna be okay because sometimes that could cost you the game. Those games that matter down the road, we're gonna have to be able to make our free throws, so my motto, free throws are free, so you gotta make your free throws. No excuses, gotta make your free throws. So I like to, hopefully they're in the gym shooting free throws all day. We gotta come out with our game plan, but we gotta make our free throws. That's where we gotta start, making your free throws. And everything else is going to follow suit. So um I think I got everything. I think I covered everything I want to say. Like I said, healing energy to Alicia Gray. I hope she's good. And yeah, like let's go get these dubs. Let's go ahead and get the rest of these dubs on this West Coast. Are we still on the West Coast road trip? Or do we play at home versus Golden State when we play them again? I can't remember, but either way, let's go get these dubs over these next few games. And I'll talk to y'all in the next video. Y'all let me know your comments below how y'all felt about this game. I feel good. I still feel good about our team. We got a lot of things we gotta just clean up. But I think we'll get them the next time we play them for sure. I think we'll come out with a good game plan and more energy. So y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all check out my game day vlog that I dropped versus the Indiana Fever. I did a whole vlog just kind of showing my full experience. And so y'all make sure y'all go check that out. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Thank y'all so much for y'all's support, y'all's feedback. You're very, very appreciated. And I hope y'all have an amazing, amazing, amazing day. Peace.